To our third and final video on digital footprint. Today we're going to talk about building a positive digital footprint because your footprint can work for you. And in fact, from this point forward, you need to keep that in mind. When you go to apply for a college or even a job in the future, I guarantee that someone is going to look you up and see what they can find in the digital world on you. I know this from experience with my own children and through being a teacher at school. So why not use it for your benefit? So what I'm going to do today is run through a video that I found that it's excellent. It's a few years old, but that's okay. And I will stop it and discuss a few things throughout, and I will also attach some notes from this video that you can use later in a project that I will assign. So let's get started and just watch along with me. Here we go.
Your digital footprint is essentially your online presence, and it's beyond your profile information, but it's really about how you are represented in an online space.
Instead of being in this small bubble of I just am on Facebook and I talk to my 30 friends on Facebook and that's who I think sees and knows me, it can turn into this creation of who I am.
I think that's really what it comes down to, is what you do online is part of your identity. It didn't used to be that way. Your identity was who you are as a physical person, but now you have this virtual element.
It's an amazing positive platform. It is not the conversation you have in your kitchen. It's not the conversation you have in your basement or in your living room or in the hallways. That's not what it's for on a positive level, what it can be for.
It's broader in scale. It gives more information about me. And so as students are coming up and learning more and publishing more kinds of things online, if they don't manage their own footprint, they're going to have a false sense of themselves, and people will get a false sense of them.
So one point that I want to mention is that this footprint that you're creating with all your activities online is forming kind of a digital personality. People that will look you up, whether it's a college administration or admissions office or a boss, they're going to see you in a certain way. They've maybe never met you face to face, but what they see online in your activities is who they think you are. So it is important that you shape that.
The best things happen on Facebook.
It's permanent. So if someone's going to look at that, then you want to have a good reputation. Because if you have a bad reputation with photos or drugs or anything like that online, then it's stuck there. Once or twice a month, I go through and I delete Facebook friends or I delete stuff that I'm not proud of years ago that I'm like, oh, I was naive. I did that a while back. And then I delete all that, and then I probably go through it and update information. I add more information if I need to, but not too much, not like obsessively, but enough that I know that I have a clean slate.
So what she just said is really important. If you have things on your accounts, your social media or whatever, that are still there from 2 years ago, you need to clean those up because you're a totally different person than you were back then. And when you're a junior in high school, the same thing will apply. You will look back at yourself as an 8th grader and probably think you're a totally different person. So it is important to keep these things updated and cleaned up.
All the stuff I liked back in middle school, I've been, actively trying to get rid of that, because I guess the way you use the social media changes as you grow up with it. So now it's not just like, oh, haha, I like potatoes. Like, just trying to have some level of professionalism, even for something as dorky as just like whatever comes to mind with my post. I want to censor that a little bit.
With the number of social media sites growing every year, figuring out how to manage your digital footprint can be overwhelming.
However, Liz Grana and Don Goebel have some advice on the first steps you can take to begin the construction.
You want to first, I think, know how to navigate it safely with integrity and being kind and being respectful, but also knowing that following something, liking something, agreeing with something means that you support it and that your name is behind it and that you're involved with it.
So I would increase the privacy settings on everything that I had. Then I'd create multiple accounts. I'd create a new account with my name on it. Put your name on it. If you don't put your name on it, you're anonymous, doesn't mean anything. Put your face on it, upload your picture, tell the world this is me, this is who I am. So create a new Facebook profile, create a new Twitter profile, create a whatever Instagram, your name, exactly who you are and what you want to accomplish in your life. That should be your description. That should be your profile. And then start populating it with all the wonderful things you are personally doing, or all the wonderful things your friends are doing, or all the wonderful things that you see others doing that you would like to see more of.
You have the power to create that type of a footprint digitally if you put the right stuff online. So if you're an athlete, if you're involved in music, if you're involved in writing, all of those types of things, you can make a positive thing online, where if someone Googles you when you're trying to get into college, or they Google you when you're trying to get a job, you have all of this information that shows who you are in such a positive way.
Well,
So that's a great point. You want to include things that show off your talents, the activities you're doing in the community, your extracurricular activities, etc. I know from firsthand experience with both of my children. My son, when he was getting into college, he was up for a scholarship. They called him in and they asked for him to show what he was doing in his community with his extracurricular activities. And luckily he did have some video to show them. My daughter was trying to be a gymnast at the college level, and she created a small YouTube channel and just put in small clips of her doing certain skills, and she would send those directly out to the coaches. And if they went to look her up, that's what they would see. It's a great idea. So you want to show yourself in a good light at all times.
you should be cautious about the content you post and carefully manage your digital reputation. Do not be hesitant about creating a digital footprint, as a well-managed digital footprint is a powerful tool.
Will Richardson says it really well when he says, you want strangers to be able to find you online, which is a little weird and creepy and all that at first, but if you really think about it, that's how you represent yourself.
I think a powerful tool in anybody's career, let alone life, is to reflect. And when we blog, when we tweet, when we put our thoughts down on paper or via the internet, we have a chance to reflect, we have a chance to grow. And when we hear what other people think about that, it gives us a chance to reflect on our opinions and our ideas about things.
You get out of life what you put into it. So if you're putting out negativity, slander, bullying, just sour attitude, that's what you're going to get back in return. And it's completely evident on a social media site. So let's flip that. Let's be positive. Let's share our positive talents, our positive attributes. Let's share all the wonderful things those that we're close to are doing. Let's share all the wonderful things that we read and we would love others to read and reflect upon.
Great points. Be positive, show positive things, so when people look you up, that's what they see about you.
On its own Facebook page, Facebook states that its mission is to make the world more open and connected. Twitter describes itself as the simplest way to stay close to everything you care about. Both these websites and other social media platforms have made our world a more connected place. But they have done even more than that. They have given us each the opportunity to share our ideas with others, to grow from interactions with people we have never met, and to build a global reputation. In the coming years, as we continue to navigate how to represent ourselves online, the role of the digital footprint will continue to develop as well. But one thing is for sure, if you manage it well, your digital footprint can be one of your greatest opportunities.
All right, I'll stop it there. But these are all great points. You definitely want to use your digital footprint as a benefit. it's kind of like a portfolio, something that I had to create in college, but it was a big binder and it had pictures of me teaching and some samples of the work I had done, some tests I had made, bulletin boards, etc. Now everything could be online, and so anyone that wanted to find these things out about you could easily do it. So I'm going to stop it there. I'm going to attach some notes from this video, and I will talk to you at the next one.